And hello and welcome to the Ales and Fails stream. I'm your host, Ale Wolf, otherwise known as Ales, gentleman streamer, Beer Goggles 21, Mama Ales, baby boy. And happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday indeed. I gotta say, this was not the plan today. I did not mean to stream on a very late Saturday evening, at least in my time zone, but it turned out to be such this way. The original plan, of course, was to stream Monster Hunter World on a Friday, but I gotta tell you, things did not work out, unfortunately. I got a bit, what would you call it, sidestepped, bogged down at the very least with responsibilities for the majority of Friday afternoon, and so I thought about it. I was about to do it, and then I thought, you know what, it's not even worth it. It's a moot point at this point, and so I kind of canceled it, cleared things out, finished things with my significant other, who happens to be resting peacefully at this time. And then I thought, you know what? I do have a little bit of time left. Maybe I can make a good on a promise. Maybe I can try and stream tonight. Tonight, a special night, as some might suggest. Of course, it is no longer Valentine's Day, but I thought, hey, why not? Why not at the very least commemorate the occasion with something at the very least, theme-inducing, theme-suggesting, and Vampire Survivors seem to be fairly apt for that particular purpose. So That is what we are doing tonight. We are streaming Vampire Survivors tonight. I would have loved to have streamed using the camera today, but again, it was kind of a spur of the moment sort of thing. So we'll simply have to do with that. I did, however, want to suggest that I did want to go ahead and shout out one of our esteemed community members, Chungus, who was here earlier. I don't know if you're still around, Chungus, but thank you so much for popping in. Chungus, of course, an excellent retro streamer. I am constantly in awe as to the games that you play, good sir. They were last playing Shin Megami Tensei 5, Vengeance, and of course V for Vengeance, V for Vendetta, and V for Valentine's. If you are a member of the Ales and Fails community, I highly suggest you follow Chungus Guitarist, an excellent community member. But yeah, before we get down to brass tacks, before we play some delightful Vampire Survivors, let's go ahead and talk about what's on tap today, of course. And in order to do that, let's go ahead and move on to this screen over here. And not that screen. Let's turn on the Ales cam. And there we go. So, what we have today is the Chess. It is a petite barrel-aged sour ale. And so, as you can see, you got this picture of this Mona Lisa-looking lady over here. Indeed, a very classical image. She's got a raven of some sort on her hand. Again, if I was to suggest a time period for this particular art piece, I would say early Middle Ages. It's not quite Renaissance. It's not quite what's the gosh, I used to know my art history, but yeah, certainly early Middle Ages kind of art style where everything kind of just looks like it's on a flat surface. So what exactly is a sour ale, you might be asking yourself. Ales? What is a sour ale, you might be wondering to yourself. Well, the way that I like to think about it is a sour ale is a type of ale that is sour. And yes, that might be obvious to you. When I think about it, there's three main flavors when you're talking about a beer. You've got the sweetness, which comes from the malts. You've got the bitterness, which comes from the hops. And then you've got the sour compound, and that actually comes from the particular microorganisms that you've got in there. So traditionally speaking, you've got Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which ferments your beer. Traditional sours have a particular yeast known as Brettanomyces, otherwise known as Brett. They make your beer very fairly sour. It's a more classical type of sour. I want to say it's kind of deep. It's kind of languishing. It lasts, and it's delightful. Traditional sours are certainly my favorite type of sours. The nice thing about those particular types of sours is that, historically speaking, you were able to find these by simply leaving your beer out in the open, out in the rustic pastoral opens of the fields of generally Belgium. And those yeast would, just colonize your beer and make it deliciously sour. That is at the very least how I recall my grandfather used to do. Not in Belgium. I am not in any sort of way Belgium. I'm actually Peruvian. Somehow he used to pull off this magic in the lands of Peru. And hello, Huami. How are you doing this fine day? Just lurkies, but hope you have a great stream and ale. Thank you so much for popping in, Huami. I very much appreciate you doing so. I hope that the day has treated you kindly. And at the very least, that you've got an amazing weekend ahead of you. Thank you so much for popping in. So that covers kind of what a sour ale is. Now, when you're talking about a barrel-aged ale, you're talking about a particular beer that is aged in, generally, you're talking about oak-aged barrels. And specifically, when you're talking about this type of beer, you're specifically talking about beers that have been aged in wine barrels. And so red ales, which is this type of beer, are known to be the most wine-like types of beers. So yeah, if you're a wine lover, I want to say that this type of beer is probably the closest you're going to get to a type of wine. And that I know that was kind of a disjointed explanation of what this type of beer is. But you know what? I'm no beer connoisseur. That's as best as I can do for tonight. But we can always go ahead and reference our friends at Untapped to kind of give us a slightly more heartier explanation. And if only they hadn't disappeared into the... Okay, there we go. There's the window. Let's go ahead and actually reference that. And if we just turn off the ales cam, there we go. So Duchesse Petite, it's a Flanders red ale, 4.5% alcohol by volume. Duchesse Petite is an authentic Flemish red ale. So whenever you see Flemish red ale, you're talking about also a Flanders red. The reason why they're also known as Flemish reds is because people in the Flanders region also speak Flemish. It is brewed and bottled in Belgium. This refined ale, also known as the Burgundies of Belgium, is a blend of beer matured in different oak casks for many months. 100% natural. The one other thing about this particular type of beer that I like to note is just the idea that if you're an enjoyer of dried fruits, things like raisins, things like plums, other dried fruits, what am I thinking? What is another? Dried figs, there we go. Then this is your kind of beer. Very strong notes of dried fruits. But with that, let's actually go ahead and actually taste this thing. And let's go back over here. Unfortunately, we don't have our friend Churro with us today. And that is because it is way too late for him. And funny story, funny anecdote really. The reason why I get Flanders Red or Flemish Reds is not necessarily because they're like something that I go to. I feel like if you give me no particular parameters, I will generally get hazy IPAs and like sweet stouts. The reason why I get Flemish Reds or Flanders Reds is simply because of the fact that my partner enjoys them a lot. My partner is the person that got me into craft beers, and I will wholeheartedly forever thank her for that. But at this point in her life, she kind of has moved on. She's very much like a margarita type of person. But one particular beer style that she enjoys is Flanders Red. And you know what? When I see them, I kind of just have to get them. Because it excites me to make her happy in this particular fashion. I wish that there was better ways to express it. But yeah, I will forever try to make sure that she enjoys herself. But yeah, as you can see, it's a relatively reddish beer. You can definitely see through it. It's thicker on the top, but of course near the bottom you can definitely see through it. It's almost like a brown, but like a copper red almost. In terms of a nose, very strong on the souring notes. Very much feels like a very effervescent wine. I want to say strong dried fruits like raisins, like plums. Maybe a light tinge of like very, very ripe mango skin. And yeah, very strong soury notes. As I like to say this, Faminale, dear viewer, thank you for being here. And very strong bite, very strong mouthfeel. I want to say a body composition of a 3.5 out of 5. Very robust. Definitely notes of wine. I want to say maybe a Malbec, if you're familiar with Malbecs, but more closely to a dessert wine, maybe like a port wine even, except sweeter, slightly lighter of course. Very strong notes of cherry, One of the things that Flanders Reds are known for is being aged in cherry. And I would have suggested that this particular beer is aged in cherry, but Duchesse actually has a specific cherry red, which is absolutely aged with cherries. But there is definitely a tinge of cherry in this particular beer. Absolutely no notes of bitterness. It is sweet, but first and foremost, it is sour. I love it. It is delicious. It is something to enjoy slowly. Let's go ahead and give this one a rating. And this is a solid 3.75. Beautiful. Riding steady tonight. And cheers. We've got it. Cheers to everyone out there. Thank you so much for being here. All that being said, I do have a question of the night. Simply because this is a Valentine's themed evening. Who knew? We do love Valentine's Day. I understand that this is not everyone's cup of tea, and I understand that not everybody finds themselves with someone, but you know what? Let us simply enjoy it as a celebration of love. Maybe you love somebody, maybe you love yourself, maybe you love your hobbies, maybe you love your life. Whatever it is, there's a reason to enjoy your life. Family, even the food that you eat. Don't neglect that. Don't ignore that. Don't take it for granted. You've got reasons to wake up every morning. So yeah, question of the night. What do you love? I wish, I complain a lot. I know that. If you know ales, you know the fact that I love to complain a lot. But you know what? No matter what, there's that brief 30 seconds when I wake up before all the problems just load onto my brain that I think, you know what? Life is wonderful. And I know that you think that too. I know it. Don't deny it. There are things to love. I love my family. I love my partner. I love my family. Again, I love food. I love pizza. Guess what? I'm in love with pizza. And I love games and I love streaming, and I'm never going to give it up until I find a better hobby. So, let me know what you love. With that, let's go back. Or, let's go into Vampire Survivors. Okay, and this particular stream is designated as a pub crawl because if anybody's interested in playing, first of all, let me know. But we've also got this idea that this is a crowd control stream. And how we're going to do that is Vampire Survivors actually has its own innate crowd control features. And if I could get it to work, that would be nice. But my controller for some reason is not working. Give me just a second here. Okay, there it goes. I think there it goes. Okay. So Vampire Survivors has its innate crowd control. And if I could just... No, stop. Okay. Is it here? Damage numbers. Voila! So Twitch channel. I will go ahead and put my channel in here. And in case you want to mess around with what happens to me, it should actually be able to let you do that. Every once in a while, whenever I get a power-up, it'll ask you to enter a value. And if you so desire to choose my fate, so be it. You know what? Let's go with someone that I've enjoyed playing. We're gonna go with Porta. And specifically because this is a Bloody Valentine's theme day, we're gonna go with Ode to Castlevania, of course. This is something that we actually haven't finished. And, you know what? We gotta do it. We gotta do it. And let's check out our map here. I don't know that there's a lot to take from this particular map. Really, what we have to do is try and get as much as we can into the castle. This is something that we haven't accomplished yet. Let's get into some tiramisu. I feel like in the outside of this particular map, there's not a lot of enemies around. Yes, get it. Get some. And now we're going to go into the portal. We're going to try and go deeper and deeper into the castle. Let's get some Fiera Dirtu Fellow. So just to talk a little bit about how my Valentine's Day went, my partner was actually out for most of the day. She was working, and she had a full work day, whereas I stayed home because I don't necessarily work on Fridays. Not all the time anyways. And I can tell you that I was bored. I spent most of the day doing chores, and like I said earlier, my thought was, hey, maybe I can stream earlier today, and then it didn't end up happening, and I was kind of just like stressed out. I was frustrated, you know what? Because I felt like it's Valentine's Day, and I would like to just like have a nice day with her, but and she wasn't available, and I understood that, but it kind of just made me mad. I was just mad, and I know that I speak from a privileged perspective, but I feel like I have a right to be mad sometimes. I can't just be a reasonable person all the time. So anyways, she came home and we went through this and that, and eventually we ended up like getting takeout, and we ended up getting some what is it called, yakitori, and that was nice. One of the things that we do when we end up getting takeout is this idea that we will generally get stuff to share, right? Like there's very few times where we'll just order an item that we know we will specifically just enjoy it. One of us will just enjoy it. But when it comes to yakitori, if you've ever done it, there's this idea that you will just get like a skewer or like 2 skewers or something that is small, and it's like a small bite. It's generally protein. And so one of the things that my partner absolutely hates it, is lamb. And so I was just like, you know what? It's like $6 to like get like 2 skewers. I'm gonna do it. And so I did, and that was wonderful. And she kind of suggested to me, because it came packaged with the beef, she was just like, the lamb smell is so overpowering that I can't tell what the beef is. And then I said, hey, hold on, I got it, I can figure it out. And so I used my gigantic nose to figure out which ones were lamb and which ones were beef, and we had a good laugh about it, and it was good. And hello Spectrum, how are you doing this finding? Hope you survived mini vampires, or the vampires that survives. I don't know what other combos. Have you actually ever played this one, Spectrum? It is I like to describe Vampire Survivors as a reverse bullet hell, in the fact that you yourself are the bullet hell. But of course, where are my manners? Spectrum, of course, is an excellent community member of ours, and if you are a member of the Ales and Fails community, kindly give him a follow. They were last playing Ender Lilies, Quietest of the Nights, which is a game that I have witnessed a number of times, and I have often questioned, how does somebody play this without delving into their own insanity? Spectrum, of course, is an excellent streamer. Certainly many times my what would I call it, senior in terms of gameplay, and I highly suggest, if you enjoy excellent gameplay, for you to follow him. Let's see. No, I haven't generally. I avoid roguelikes, and I get that. Here's a funny thought. I actually used to dislike roguelikes, the principle of roguelikes, until I came upon Hades, and ever since then I haven't been able to not, at the very least, give them a chance. Let's see. And you're absolutely welcome. My insanity is present and open. I guess maybe that's why. You know what? We've all got a bit of our insanity. There's not one of us who is not worth a look, that is without some level of insanity. So cheers to you. But yeah, I do enjoy the Vampire Survivors. I haven't played it enough. I like to play with my siblings, and that is because more people make it more fun. But tonight we're flying alone. Tonight we fly alone. And I gotta tell you, I don't think the crowd control is working, but maybe that's okay. Ba-dum-ba-bum. This map is a node to Castlevania. And so some of the rooms actually are very reminiscent of things like Symphony of the Night and the such. Hades was okay for me, but Inscription really ruined it for me. You know, I've never actually played Inscription. I think the thing that really lured me in when I was playing Hades was I'm a sucker for like Greco-Roman lore and mythology. And maybe that's what it was. It was like catnip for me. But I can understand that folks don't necessarily like roguelikes. This one specifically grabbed me because of the graphics. Very much retro. And of course, you gotta have retro. You gotta have retro. Where am I going here? This is a dead end. Aye. Many love it. I love the ambiance, but the gameplay just felt bad to go back to the start in what would otherwise be a story game. 6 hours of play, no progress. You know what? That sounds painful. I feel like there is something to be said about how a game values your time, right? And I can understand like a Soulsborne where like you're constantly beaten down for you to actually learn the lessons of a boss versus you know, certain roguelikes and certain roguelites where that is actually not the case, where you are actively kind of just pushed back to an earlier phase, not necessarily putting you in a spot where you might actually be able to return to some of those notions and principles. But then again, I speak from a place of ignorance where I learn very little because I'm not that great of a player. I'm not. I promise. And Tirajisu adds 1 revival. That doesn't sound bad. I do like the Cloak Lancet though. Yeah, at least in Souls games I had checkpoints. Yeah, and that makes sense. It is 2 different genres. It is comparing apples to oranges. But you know what? I really like Asian pears, and those are kind of like apples. Let's go with Tirajisu. But yeah, Spectrum, I hope that you had an excellent day. I don't know if you were streaming earlier. I probably failed to catch that. Let's go ahead and evolve this particular weapon using the crown. Vampire Survivors, of course, has main weapons and auxiliary weapons. And if you get your main weapon all the way to level 8, if you have an auxiliary weapon attached, you actually have a chance to evolve it. And generally, by the time that you're, I want to say, level 10, you probably want to have at least 1 evolved weapon, otherwise you're not going to make it. LMAO, I did little to nothing today. I was really out of it and needed 12 hours of sleep. That sounds like good rest, Spectrum. And I salute you for it. There are very few times where I can actually have the time to get that much sleep. But the few times that I do enjoy it, it's almost like a pick-me-up, like a one-up. And I definitely wish that I enjoyed the luxury of having those instances. I probably owe it to my body. But guess what? Time is a commodity. I have entered a stage in my life where it's just like, you better do something with it because it's going away at some point. And there's so many things to do, so many things to enjoy. And I know that that's a self-defeating perspective. But it's kind of like an exciting ride to take sometimes. Anyways, I digress. Let's see, it was like being sick, but with no physical symptoms other than tiredness. I'm glad that you got your rest, Spectrum. And I, honest to goodness, hope that the rest of the weekend has similar gifts for you. I think it'll be okay. Nice. Good time. And we are powering up our Fiera Dur to fellow. Passes through 2 or more enemies. Okay, we gotta figure out where we're going. I feel like we've been going in circles here. I think that really the idea is to take this particular passageway and then go up the stairs. I see a scythe down here, so I'm gonna go and try and cut down there. Was just one of those moments. Hey, enjoy it if you have the opportunity, right? We're getting close. Voila! Curved knife fires a spinning projectile at a random enemy. And we got a vacuum cleaner monster, and we got some blue fellas. The Blue Man Group. Speaking of the Blue Man Group, I was in a group meeting on Thursday afternoon. Oddly enough, a group meeting that I wasn't leading this particular time around. And one of the questions that was asked, folks like to have icebreakers during group meetings. And one of the questions that was asked was, if you were to be able to be front row on any particular musical group, who would it be? And unfortunately, people took my number 1 and number 2. My number 1, of course, being Taylor Swift. Everyone knows Ailes to be a Swiftie. So no need to speak on that anymore, but somebody took my number 2, and of course that was Daft Punk. And the reason why I can no longer see Daft Punk is because they are no longer together. Very sad. I love their music. I will forever love their music. And then because those two were taking, I decided to go with number 3. And of course that has to be Evanescence. And you know, Evanescence, gothic rock band. I don't know that they have any new albums recently, or at the very least, I haven't listened to them play any new stuff, but to this day, I like to suggest that my favorite song of all time, and no matter how old I become, is Bring Me to Life. It is actually my number 1 karaoke song, and if you've heard me speak, you know, by Jove, I cannot pull that song off. And yet I will still sing it. One day, if I have to travel back in time, I will listen to Evanescence play live. Let's see. Oh yeah. Thank you for being here, Spectrum. I don't know if I say this enough, but I appreciate the fact that you're constantly a presence in this stream. Once again, always bringing class to the stream. And yes, we have to go up the stairs. But let's go ahead and destroy this particular bat, because they might have a treasure. And we do love treasure. Let's see, I wasn't sure if you were streaming tonight or not based on the post. Yeah, what happened is I had to cancel my earlier stream because I felt like I could stream, but at the same time I was just like, I'm not gonna be able to even hit the 2nd hour mark. I kind of just got bogged down with chores. I was doing like laundry. I actually had a plumber come in because my kitchen sink was just leaking horribly. And, you know, they were doing their job, and I was very thankful for what they did. But they honestly took like the better half of the morning. And again, I was just putting away laundry. I was doing vacuum cleaning. I was walking my dog. And I was just like, you know what? This is not going to be pretty. Like, I'll be very dissatisfied with the time that I put in. So I decided not to do it. But then, like I said, my partner went to sleep early. I was just like, you know what? I'm still feeling fairly energetic. I can get the rest of it by like a pick-me-up. I drank a Red Bull. I know nobody should be drinking Red Bull, but I decided to drink one. And here I am. And you know what? We're feeling good. I feel like we're gonna reach the heart of Castlevania. or at the very least, I am fooling myself into thinking that we're gonna reach the heart of Castlevania. But that is almost as good as actually reaching it. I'm glad you're here too. That is the kindest thing anyone has said today. Thank you so much. Oh no, a leak. Yeah, here's something that I was not aware of until I owned a home. Apparently, if you own a faucet, an old enough faucet, at some point they will eventually give in. And so I want to say that maybe it was like 2 weeks ago that my partner said, "Oh hey, this is leaking," and I said, "Well, it doesn't seem like that big of an issue." And then a week later she was like, "Hey, it's leaking more." And then I said, "I guess I will call the plumber." And then I did. The plumber came in on a Sunday. They asked me about the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. The better said about that, the better. But then we picked out a faucet that we wanted, and then a week later, it was basically just like the faucet was basically open by the time they came back, and they were like, "Oh, I guess this is a problem." And I said, "Yeah, can you please replace the thing?" And they did. So I'm happy that that issue is finally resolved. I hate the thought of losing water. I know that there's a lot of people out there that don't have like basic needs like water, so it like pains me to the core whenever something like that happens, and I was trying to save it as much as I could for like other purposes. But yeah, it was definitely like an emergency. LOL, yeah, leaks generally don't fix themselves, only get worse. See, the funny thing is, I thought that I could just manage it by like closing down the water mains that we have under the sink, but guess what? They were also very old and they had to be replaced as well. We're gonna go with Fiera Dares to Fellow level 4. And I wish I understood why the crowd controls are not working. Oh, that's such a bummer. I guess if we lose, we'll just have to try and reactivate it. That's fine. Might be a motivator to evaluate any other fixtures in the house. You know what? Every year we have like a number of like house projects. We actually moved into this place, I want to say in 2017, and every single year we have had like different things that we have had to fix. And so when people say, "Oh, you're so lucky that you're a homeowner," I say, yes, I understand where you're coming from. At the same time, there is so much to fix when it comes to like an older house. I know that our house was built like, I want to say probably in the late 50s. It's been upgraded a number of times, but yeah, it's got its gaps and it's got its things to fix. I'm pretty sure at some point this year I'm gonna have to replace the washer and dryer. They're fairly old and somehow they're still working. Oh my gosh, I don't have a lot of energy. I have to play it a bit more, what do you call it? Conservatively. I really don't want to be conservative, but I must. Oh my gosh, that didn't destroy a bunch of people. This thing is huge. Sorry if I'm... Okay, there's a treasure here. Is it meat? Hold on a second. I swapped out a faucet in our kitchen. That was a DIY, able at least. The original one literally fell apart. I'm assuming that it probably fell apart from rust and things like that. And you're a better person than myself, Spectrum. I am a horrible handy person. I am terrible at fixing things on my own. Like, I have tools, but if you give me like IKEA furniture, I will just like take hours to do it. I just want to put that out there. That is old, and there were a number of different building codes for a house from those years. Yeah, exactly. I also know that my house is literally sinking, like the House of Usher, and that's because the pylons, or I think the columns, the things that hold it up, are probably are in need of a replacement. And so in certain areas of the house, you can definitely sense a slight tilt. which, for most of the time it's fine. But I want to say in a decade it's going to be like a huge issue. So at some point I have to look into that. Let's see. Ours is built in 2010ish. See, that's a good year. 2010ish is good. I'm not a handy person either for the most part. I do a lot of research and spend forever checking things. LOL. Well, that's better for you. I kind of just complain through it. Really want to learn though. Yeah. You definitely want to make sure that your foundation is stable. Let's go ahead and open this. Nice, it's a big one. Bam, bam, bam. It's a $5. Did that come up in the inspection when you guys bought it? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. It is on me, Spectrum. It is on me. I have no one to blame but myself. But I will get it fixed at some point. If I don't get it fixed, I will move out. But yeah, let's so we got a scythe, we got another level of lightning ring, we got a crown, we got a Fiero Trofelo, and yet another scythe. So we got a good set of weapons here, but we've also got like an insane amount of enemies in front of us. More pentagram. Ay, what is this? Can we get some meat? Nice. And for anybody that's joining us, we've got a Duchesse Petite. It is a barrel-aged sour ale, and we got more pentagram. The nice thing about higher level pentagrams is that not only is the cooldown reduced, but at the same time, there is a small chance that when it activates, when it procs, that it won't actually delete enemy rewards, which is a problem with early level pentagrams. It's a very small chance though, it's not necessarily the best. Oh nice, we got a chicken, but at the same time we've also got a raid. Thank you so much, Azure Retro Gambit. Welcome in, raiders. How are you doing this fine evening? Let me go and quickly introduce myself by pulling into intermission for just a minute here. Chicken dinner raid, that is the best type of dinner. Welcome in, Azure Retro Gambit. How are you doing this fine day? Good to see you. Happy Saturday. Happy Valentine's Day if you celebrated it, of course. And of course, let's go ahead and give a shout out to Azure Retro Gambit, who were last playing Retro. Feel free to let us know what you were playing. If I might simply introduce myself for a quick second, my name is Ailes. I am a retro / variety streamer. Generally I have my corgi with me, but unfortunately he's asleep. And I do love to talk about beers, and tonight we've got a Duchesse Red, which is a barrel-aged sour ale. Tonight we are playing Vampire Survivors, and I don't know how much longer we're gonna survive, but we're gonna try. We're gonna wholeheartedly try. Let's go back to live. Okay, so I was playing Retro Realms Arcade. I'm assuming that might be a collection of retro games. Let me know if that's accurate or not. It's super fun. I should probably check it out myself. They just brought the price of both games down for $20 or 20, whatever currency you might be talking about for both. So I decided to play it to showcase the game. Well, I'm gonna have to look for it then. Let me make a note for myself actually. Once again, thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate it. I have no idea why you decided to raid this very silly channel, but by God, I am glad that you did. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and resume over here. And let's add more pentagram. More penta. Penta Cero Miedo, of course. And we gotta make sure that we don't hit enemies. For as much weaponry that we have on ourselves, it's a bit difficult to stay alive given the fact that our defenses are relatively flimsy. And let's see, it's It's 2 games based on horror franchises made by Way Forward, Ash vs. Evil Dead and Halloween. You had me at Ash vs. Evil Dead. I'll have to check it out myself. Thank you so much. It's a beat 'em up pixel platformer. You know what? I feel like the last great beat 'em up that I played, it's been years. It's been years, but it's gotta be that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. What is it? Shredder's Revenge. I've been itching. I've been hankering for a new beat 'em up, so maybe I should look into that. But once again, cheers to you. Thank you so much. If you love Ash vs. Evil Dead, this is a good one. It is definitely my my sensibility. Let's go with Alchemy Whip tonight. Who knows that if we'll actually be able to evolve it, but we'll give it a shot. We'll give it the old college try, as they like to say. Nice. We got more lightning. Let's go for that. I read it because we are on the same team, CRT. Wow, okay, so Azure Retro Gambit is a fellow Team CRT member. Thank you so much for doing that. I apologize for not knowing that. I'm sure that we have been on the same Discord, and I have been a fool not to notice that particular fact. Very much appreciated it. And you know what? Let me go ahead and give you a follow. Awesome possum, it is done. We're gonna go with even more pentagram, more Pentacero Miedo. It's okay. I haven't been active much in the Discord. I want to, but I never know what to post. Here's a funny thought, Azure. Let me know if that's not a great name to suggest. But at this point, I probably feel like I have about 20 Discords that maybe I post in weekly. A lot of the times it's just like, oh hey, how's it going? And really not much more substance. Sometimes I like to post things about my corgi because people seem to react to that. People love pets. But sometimes I'm just like, the reason why I join a Discord is because I really like the streamer that hosts it, and maybe a little less about the people that are in that community. And while I appreciate them, a lot of the times it's like really nice people that just want to connect and do that. I find myself not having enough thoughts, enough things to say to them, and sometimes it bothers me. Sometimes it's just I feel depressed by the fact that there's so many cool people here and I don't know what to say, and I can't imagine that that's just a me thing. Sometimes I feel like maybe I shouldn't join Discords, but at the same time it's just but it's an opportunity lost, right? Because there could be somebody awesome in there, somebody that I really want to just touch base with, that I might fail the chance to do so. And so I'm in this ever defeating exercise where join Discords, and sometimes I just don't have enough to say. Anyways, that was a rant. Sorry about that. I am sure that you didn't need to hear all that. Let's go with more Alchemy Whip. Let's see. Who is the streamer that hosts it? You know what? I feel like the folks that host the CRT Discord, I'm guessing it's one of them is Phenomenon, Eyes on B. So those are the main folks that I know that are always active on it. I don't know. I guess the person that recruited me on it was gosh, I'm blanking on her name right now, and I feel terrible about it. Jackie Soar. She recruited me onto it. I know Megan is on it as well. Those are probably the main names that I know associated with that Discord. But I'm sure that I'm missing quite a number of people. It really is an excellent community, and I feel very fortunate to have been identified as a person that might be able to contribute to it. Let's CRT. I usually don't join Discords, but Ash invited me to the CRT Discord, and it's pretty cool being part of that community. And yeah, I know that Ash is also one of the prominent members of that community. I hate to say it, but I haven't popped into her streams as much as I should have. I know that I know her actually from the things that from all the good word that Finn has put for her, and I know that they collaborate fairly often. Let's go with Santa Water. Santa Water's good. And let's get some more chicken, just in case we need it. Ooh, and we are about to reach Lightning Ring level 8. At this point, there is a good chance that the next treasure that we find might actually power up our Lightning Ring to the next evolution level. Wow, these flea enemies are so fast. Where are we on the map? So I'm assuming that if we go all the way to the end of the skull, we might reach an enemy, one of these boss enemies. So let's go for it. There's a good chance that we might be able to overpower it. And if not, you know what, it was a good run. Are they here? Do we need to step on the portal? There we go. There they are. And that is actually one of the classic enemies from Castlevania. He generally shows up with his partner, the bird with the fork, but I guess not in this game. And I am at a loss to remember what their name is. Let's go with Fiera del Trofelo level 6. Like Alpha 5 once said, ay 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 ay. Nice, Pentagram actually cleared the screen. And there's some chicken here. At least I've got chicken. Okay, how much more till this fella goes down? And we got another, like, boss-like enemy here. Okay, let's go for more Fiera. I like the fact that it is a constant shooter. Like, it is something that I can constantly rely on. It doesn't have, like, too much of a cooldown. It's not very strong. But yeah, we can actually rely on it for it to just constantly fire. And let me go ahead and catch up on chat here. Thank you, Leroy. Spectrum. We must exist in the same wavelength here. Leroy Jenkins. I had no idea that you were a WoW player, or that at the very least you were aware of that meme. But those were... Oh, there we go. And so that is the evolved lightning ring. Oh my gosh, and thank you very much for the follow. Follows are anonymous. Feel free to introduce yourself, or feel free to forever hold your peace. I always wanted to say that. You know what? I always wanted to attend a wedding, and like when the person says, "Oh hey," or "Forever hold your peace," I wanted to say, "You know what? I got something to say." But I don't think that I'll ever get that chance, and that's okay. I shouldn't be a silly boy like that. Okay. I just beat the big boss less than an hour ago. What big boss are you talking about? Are you talking about the big boss from Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater? Is it that big boss? Because I would love to hear about that. Welcome, Minister Lathan. How are you doing this fine evening? Good to see you. Thank you very much for popping in. And we're going to go with Candelabrador, because we do love our Labradors. Oh, there's his partner. There's the guy with the spear, or like, the Spear of Longinus. And we probably need to get out of this corner. I feel like we need to keep moving up. We're at 15 minutes. As you all know, Vampire Survivors last a maximum of 30 minutes unless you got the strength to like defeat death, which we've never been able to do that before. Ooh, Pentagram level 8. No, it's a level that unlocks when you reach a certain point. It's a mother of a fight. I'm assuming that is in Vampire Survivors. Yeah, I gotta tell you, I haven't delved too much into this particular DLC. But I'm trying to get there. Minister Lathan, of course. I'm assuming an excellent gamer of the Vampire Survivor variety. Thank you so much for popping in. Let's go with level 8 Fiera Dare 2. No, actually level 8 Pentagram. And I'm assuming that this is the evolution. Is this it? It's the base game boss. Oh, gotcha. Sometimes it's difficult to tell the difference between what the base game is and some of the DLC. I know that I've got the Castlevania DLC as well as the Contra DLC, and I feel like some of the content between those kind of like gels together, and that's not a problem. That's a me problem. But thank you very much for clarifying. We've got ads in about 2.5 minutes. So we'll take a quick break at that point. Oh my gosh, they're blowing up. Boom. It's a weird fight. I look forward to it. I am a weird person myself. No ads for me. I'm a turbo user. Excellent. I can tell you right now that I'm probably gonna do a quick bio break, a quick stretch break. I might evaluate the decisions that led me to this point in my life. But we will be back after that, I promise. I hope that you're having an excellent weekend, by the way. Once again, thank you so much for popping in. Out of all streams that you could have decided to pop into and say hello, you chose this one. I could name like 10 better ones that you could have done so, and yet you decided to choose this one, so that means the world to me. Thank you so much. But I want to beat this bird thing. He reminds me of like a Power Rangers enemy from like season 1. Make it happen, Captain. Ooh, the attractor actually evolves as Santa water. Bam 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 bam. I've been bouncing around the Vampire Survivor streams and the Raven's Watch streams. I hear Raven's Watch is actually a pretty good game. I actually tried it with my siblings. We didn't get very far. It seemed like a fairly difficult game. But that certainly hasn't dissuaded me from playing games. Oh, come on. How long is this? Ah, jeez. Here, speaking of my siblings, one of the things that we used to do, or we used to say whenever we would play Vampire Survivors, like the first level is like the forest, and like we had like a cloud of bats showing up, is that we would just say, oh hey, it's a COVID cloud, and just avoid it. And yeah, that's not necessarily the greatest thing to say, but it seemed funny at the time. You make very silly jokes when you're with siblings. Oh, is it Castlevania? Is it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Raven's Watch is hard as After Future. Yes, it is. But I want to get better at it. It's quite good. Okay, and we've got ads starting soon, so I'm going to just go ahead and take a quick break right here. I hope to see you on the other side, but if I don't, I wish you the best, because you are the best. We will be back with more Vampire Survivors on the other side of this break. And hello and welcome back to the Ales and Fails stream. I'm your host, Ale Wolf, otherwise known as Ales, gentleman streamer, the excellence of an execution, the no throne cicerone, and welcome back to Vampire Survivors tonight. We are playing Vampire Survivors tonight. We're playing the Ode to Castlevania DLC, and we're having a good time chatting with some folks, talking about beers, talking about discords, this and that. Valentine's Day is also a topic sometimes. And hello Spectrum Branch, thank you very much for continuing to be here. We are of course enjoying some delicious Duchess Petite Barrel Aged Sour Ale. Feel free to ask me about that. And of course, even though this is a drinks friendly stream, we highly advocate the consumption of pure healthy dihydrogen monoxide, so kindly drink up. But yeah, we're at minute 17 of our 30-minute run. Who knows if we'll actually make it through the 30 minutes. And my goodness, thank you very much for the follow. Follows are anonymous, of course. Feel free to introduce yourself. Feel free to gab. We love to gab around here. We're just a bunch of gabbing fellas and gals around here. Or otherwise, feel free to forever hold your peace. Let's go ahead and get started. And the nice thing about the Evolved Pentagram is that once you actually activate it, it'll actually allow you to get all these extra gems, which almost makes up for the fact that you lost all the gems at the beginning when you were leveling up that pentagram. So it's nice that way. Tormented One, thank you for respecting my privacy. I do my best, Tormented One. I really try. Sometimes I fail to do so. I might fail to do so by saying thank you very much for popping in. You have made my day by popping in. Thank you so much. I hope you're having an excellent day, at the very least an excellent weekend. And I hope you are an enjoyer of Vampire Survivors as I am. And where's our map here? Let's go for that treasure. I failed to get that treasure over there. You gotta love treasure, as Strong Bad once said. You are awesome. I beg to differ. That only makes one of us. Can somebody please strike off the record Tormented One's statement? Mod check, please. And we've got another Attract Orb. Who am I kidding? I have no mods. Okay, so, yeah, I was trying to actually navigate this map. It's a bit difficult over here. We got a Hydra, or some sort of like shielded Hydra. The best type of Hydra. Treasure. Taking down notes. And we got yet another scythe here. Okay. I don't know what we need to evolve our scythe. But it is at level 8. I can't imagine that we got the complement weapon, but we'll soon find out. At this point, we got 5 out of 6 auxiliary weapons. I feel like I'm trying not to get anything new just in case I'm missing something in terms of my primary weapons. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and increase our candelabrador because we do love our pups. And pentagram. Let it rip, like they said in Beyblade. Geronimo, indeed. And I feel like we're in a much better state than we were like 5 minutes ago. Let's go up. That being said, we could use this chicken. As Leroy Jenkins once said. We're in new floor. I feel like if we keep going right, there's a chance that we can continue to ascend. Metal Gear Rise. Nothing can stop us, at the very least, nothing on screen, but trust me, once it gets to the 25 minute counter, we're gonna get so many waves on us that we're going to be like looking for like empty spots of like no enemies. I'm kind of just hoping that we make it to the next checkpoint in this level. And I know that it's weird to say checkpoints in this particular game. Generally they manifest as, what do you call them, portals. Level 2 of Santa Water. We hardly knew ye. I didn't know when I was well off. And all the skulls surrounding us. Okay, we got a Minotaur over here. Not as awesome as the Minotaur from Hades, but certainly a sight to behold. What is your favorite character? You know what? For the longest time, it used to be, and I'm terrible at the names here. I really like this particular character. What is their name? Now I'm gonna have to Google it. Hold on a second. You have asked the key question here. Vampire Survivors characters. So for the longest time, I used to run with the fellow with the garlic, and I forget what his name is. Let's see. Okay, so I started with Imelda, and I still like Imelda every once in a while. The person with the magic wand. I like to play Porta because of the lightning ring, but for the longest time, I want to say in between those two, I used to run with Poe, who has the garlic power, just because they are a very tanky sort. Do you have a favorite character? Tormented one. I'd love to know. And Minister Lathan, with the clutch answer, of course, Poe. And let's go with Alchemy Whip level 5. Beautiful when it's in bloom. Like a kiss from a rose on a grave. I'm kind of trying to see if I can get a treasure chest from this Minotaur. There's a good chance that that is the case. And we're just hacking at it. We're hacking at it, folks. Not like a bad cough. We're just hacking at it. My favorite is any of the Belmonts or Sifa. There's something to be said about the Castlevania related characters, yeah. I have yet to unlock a few of them, all that being said. I'm fairly new at the Ode to Castlevania DLC. Here we go. Alucard gets crazy. And see, I haven't actually played the Alucard yet. I know that he's coming. But yeah, I haven't actually been able to play him. And of course, Alucard simply has got to be the best character of Castlevania, period. I'm always saddened by the fact that, I guess, spoilers, maybe not really spoilers, but I did play, what's it called, Harmony of Sorrow? Anyways, I played Dawn of Sorrow. How about that? And I am saddened by the fact that I don't feel like I got a resolution to that storyline. Anyways, enough said about that. Chicken! Okay, can I give you a hint on finding the coffins to unlock early characters? Feel free to drop whatever hints you want. I gotta tell you though, there is a small chance that I will read it, I will say I will do what you said, and then I will completely forget about it. I am terrible at these things. Okay, so there's a red eye here, or is that like a piece of meat? I don't know what it is. There's like a little cupid here, some chicken, and there's some more stuff up here. So I feel like we're gonna go down here first. Check what that is. And then we're gonna keep moving forward. Hey, treasure. Looks at the map and go to the question marks. Those are coffins to unlock characters. Okay. And I think that I have done that in previous maps. Let's see, where's our next question mark over here? You know what? I'm not necessarily seeing them here. Maybe I'm assuming that maybe I'm not close to any of them right now, but I'll keep an eye out for them. Appreciate that, Minister Lathan. By the way, that's an interesting name. Feel free. That's a weird way to suggest it. I would love to know where your username came from, but also you don't have to tell me at all. You can just ignore that question as if it never happened. Meat. Parm Aegis increases invulnerability time after getting damaged by 50 milliseconds. I'm assuming that's 50 milliseconds. So grown up, let's get it. Okay, so level 2. So we're getting invincibility frames, but at the same time I want to get the level 8 alchemy whip. Ooh, and there's another boss creature here. And this one was definitely an enemy in Symphony of the Night. Can I just say that Symphony of the Night was my favorite Metroidvania, but at the same time, in the same sentence, in the same breath, I had lots of issues with its menus, and I found it very difficult to try to identify weapons to use because of how things fail to be sorted. And that is all I'll say about that. We've got an evolved weapon here. Bum 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 bum. Okay, let's go up and let's go all the way over here to the northeast. There's a bunch of chickens over here. There's an enemy boss over there. So let's go for it. And enemies seem to be speeding up. We're at 23 minutes, folks. We got 7 minutes to survive. And this gives us a bit more invincibility. We're gonna go with Santa Water for right now. I would love to get Santa Water evolved before we get to the latter parts of the run. Japanese games always have menu inventory issues. I've always wondered about that. I would love to be able to name like a reason why, like prime examples of that, like off the top of my head. But I feel like that's a concern. Hey, money. Very clunky and slow. There's definitely a need for finesse there. Bum, 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 bum. Here's a weird example, right? Like, for SNES games, SNES RPGs, I often thought that for as much as I love Earthbound, the menu system was incredibly clunky, incredibly limited, inventory specifically. So please don't destroy me. I love Earthbound. Otherwise, it's just not enough items. I don't necessarily care for Escargot Express. Okay, where are we? I don't think we've ever faced these types of enemies before. Where are we? Okay, let's get out of here. Inventory. Let's see. I know Earthbound had a rough menu, but supposedly space limitations. Yeah, and that was one of the big issues. And it's not like that you couldn't resolve the space limitations issues with like the fact that you could get like a delivery system. It's just that it took time, and you could only activate it during certain areas of the game. So that was the problem. But for what it's worth, it was kind of charming. It was kind of charming. I can say that. Like that's not a reason not to play the game. When people ask me, why do I like Earthbound? As if you haven't already heard a bajillion reasons why you should play Earthbound. The reason that I always say first is that I played it when I was 13 years old, which was the age of the protagonist. And I'm sure that I'm not alone in that one, but it meant something to me. Let's see, inventory with just text is bad. Put images and make them in squares instead of lists. Yeah. You can definitely make things easier that way. And Santa Water level 8. Nice! Yeah, it was rough. Absolutely. And we're still enjoying some delicious petite barrel-aged sour ale from Duchesse. Beautiful, and we've got the evolved Santa Water. Oh my gosh, we might actually be able to make it through the 30 minutes here. I don't know that we'll make it through the heart or Castlevania, but this is pretty nice. I don't know that I've ever actually made it the full 30 minutes here. If you know Skyrim's default inventory system and why people modded it, you know, I've only heard about it. I actually haven't played Skyrim. But my hat's off to anybody that dealt with the initial build of that inventory system. I also don't wear a hat on most days. Sometimes I wear a beanie though, when I'm not in PNG form. Sometimes when I don't show my ugly mug. And happy Saturday, happy Saturday to everyone out there. I don't know where you're from, and I don't know where you've been, but I'm happy you're here. Nice, and we've got a small corridor ahead of us. Maybe, baby. Wait a second, where are we? Oh gosh, okay, we're actually into 2D land. Nice. What is this? Heyo, what is... Seriously? What is happening? Oh gosh. Wait, there's another one of us. Can we even jump? Is this a jumping thing? What is going on here? Oh yeah, we can jump sometimes? By pressing... Okay, so we just have to press the up button. We just went from like a... I don't know that we're actually gonna make this. This other person probably has more HP than we do. Come on, can we get like some sort of signifier or something like that? Ah! We're not gonna make it, are we? This is gonna be sad. Everyone's gonna be sad about this. I'm gonna call my mom over this loss. Okay, we have the high ground, Anakin. How dare you? More time. Is that you, Inigo? Yes, it is. I'm sorry that you're here to see this loss. But once again, good to see you, Inigo, legendary member of the stream. How are you doing this fine day? Happy Saturday. Why is this person not going down? Are they going down? Yes? Boom! Wolf's kiss. Okay, let me catch up on chat here. Same issue as most JRPGs, list of text, so people added icons. That makes most sense. Boss fight. Symphony of the Night boss. I'm assuming that it's like the mirror boss enemy. That's my guess. My boy Ailes. I am indeed your boy Ailes. Sounds a bit tipsy. I have no idea what you're talking about, Inigo. I am simply ranting as one tends to do. But yes, we are enjoying some delicious petite barrel-aged sour ale from Duchess. And look at that. Okay, so I'm kind of wondering whether or not we're actually going to go back to the 3D map or not. I gotta say, the way that the game communicated us translating into this mode of gameplay was not necessarily the most intuitive. There is definitely a chest behind us that we might have missed. And so we'll try and get that before we leave this area. Here we go. Oh wow, and we're back to like 3D moving. Not necessarily 3D moving. What's a bird's eye view moving, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And we're at 28 minutes, folks. 28. We've only got to survive 2 more minutes. Okay, let's keep moving forward. Let's see how far we can get. Thank goodness for Pentagram. TGIP. Nice. But we still have to avoid enemies coming from below us. I feel like that is the area that gets the least coverage. Okay, now we're back to 3D space. Oh, and we're back to these mirror enemies. I think that we just need to continue making our way up. Let's see. Can we actually expand the map over here? Honestly, let's just keep going up. I know that there's like a portal down here, but that's outside the castle. This is all we've navigated so far, and there's definitely so much more to explore here. So let's try and keep going up. Getting some additional invincibility frames. Oh dear. I can't go through that corridor without like risking. Nice. Beautiful, and some additional invincibility frames, iframes. Some more Palm Aegis increases invulnerability. Floor chicken. Okay, and now we're entering this phase where we're just getting hit by waves and waves of enemies. Bum bum bum. And it's just money. You know, in this economy, I would say that this is wonderful, but this is not going to help us survive for the next 30 seconds. Oh my gosh, let's go up. Ah! Probably should just get all floor chickens. We have no need for monies at this point. 20 seconds. Is this a world record? No. But you know what? That's okay. And there's a door here. Congrats. I hope so. Oh, yes. And we're down. We are down. Thank you very much for the congratulations. Congrats. This is the first time that I've reached 30 minutes in the Ode to Castlevania stage. So that is you know, that might not necessarily be great. We didn't reach I'm assuming Dracula is at the heart of this castle. But this is good. This is good progress. What happens if we revive at this point? That's not really gonna help us, is it? Did you ever play Pokemon Diamond back then, Ails? Yes, I did. That's an unusual question for you to ask, and I go, I did play. Actually, so okay, let me rephrase that. I didn't play Pokemon Diamond. I played Pokemon Pearl, and I want to say that I made it to like the third gym before just kind of just like backing away because one reason or another I just didn't feel like the game was gelling with me. Why do you ask? I am ever so curious. Let's revive one more time. What's gonna happen? Give me that chicken. Okay, 9 sec. Oh gosh, we got more revives. Okay, 30 seconds. You know, I don't know that that's really helping or hurting us. We're out of revives. We're out of revives. And done. Beautiful. Okay, let's try to see if we can actually get the what do you call it? The crowd control on. That's weird that it didn't actually let me do it. Let's try one more time. Not that anybody cares about this, but it's kind of fun. Twitch Connect. Oh, okay. So now Twitch mode is enabled. Let's I don't think I want to do the Ode to Castlevania anymore. Maybe I want to try the Contra thing. I've actually never tried that one, and that might be fun for a little bit. Crowd control. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. And we got Leon. We don't have Trevor yet. Ah, that's sad. I wanna play somebody that fits with the theme, but unfortunately, I don't think I have anybody unlocked that actually does that. Let's go with Pugnala since they've got this like little gun weapon. Let's see. I only asked because I'm binging on nostalgia right now, and that game with Cynthia as the final boss and how she traumatized the whole generation. But just the feeling she gave me and the memories are so cool. That's awesome. And I go, it's those scars that we carry on to eternity, right? I can't say that I made it all the way to like Pokemon Diamond or Pearl, But I feel like for me, like one gym leader that I'll never forget is and I'm sure you've seen the meme before. This is like nothing new. The gym leader that I'll never forget is Whitney with her milk tank, because yeah, that rollout was hateful. It was sinful. It was terrible. Okay, we're going with Pugnala. And where is it? Where's the thing? Join Contra Force. There we go. OMG. Hey, Ivan. How are you doing this fine evening? Good to see you. Late night stream. Yeah, indeed. It is indeed a late night stream. I didn't actually mean to stream at this time, but I missed my earlier stream and I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. Let's just do it. Let's go for it. And if I might suggest what my background with the Contra games is, I have literally played one of them, and that's Contra 3: The Alien Wars, which I enjoyed a lot, but I was terrible at. And of course, crowd control is on, so if you want to choose what my next weapon is, please let me know. Or please enter your codes in there. Okay, and we're getting the magic wand, I guess. Ooh, we got the bee, which is... You know what? I know very little about crowd control. Where's the map here? As Guonam would say, here is the map. Where do you wish to go? I'm joining with you with some vino. Very nice. And funny thought, Ivan. Barrel-aged sour reds, specifically Flanders Reds, are supposed to be the most wine-like beers out there. So cheers to you. That sounds like an excellent way to close out a Friday night. Okay, what is this? Levels up a random equipped weapon, gives +1 revival, does not occupy a weapon slot. Get that. And of course I chose to drink while the game was playing, which is a silly thing to do. I don't, you know what? Let's oh right, actually this is a this is a crowd control. I was about to say I'm not even gonna say, I don't want to influence the choice here. Oh gosh. So the idea here is that you actually get the floaty weapons just like in the Contra games, huh? That's kind of fun. No! Come back here. Nice. Where's the, like, main... Oh, nice. There's like a... I feel like there's a map right there, right? That looks like a map. Let's go for that. Then I might actually know what's happening here. Laurel... Duplicator is always nice. Pichon is always good, too. I don't know about Laurel. How's your V-Day? So, my partner was actually at work for most of the day, which was kind of a bit frustrating. But then she came home, we did some present exchanges. Interestingly enough, Inigo, she did get this present for me, which I thought was incredibly thoughtful. So, obviously I love to stream, and one of the things that my partner doesn't necessarily find any value in is me streaming. So it was really, really momentous, or like nice for me to find out that she decided to get me a green screen. And she was just like, oh, hey, you could use it for your streams. And I was just like, oh, really? That's, wow, okay, that's thoughtful. I have no idea when I'm going to be able to implement the green screen, but it seems like a cool idea. Let's see. I bought the Contra Anniversary Collection for Switch a while back. I'm a big fan. I actually bought it myself too, and I've been meaning to like stream it at some point. Like I said, I've only ever played Contra 3, but I've always wanted to just like go back and try the Contra catalog, because it just like the run and gun kind of action. I know that I'm not great at it, but I'm pretty sure I could get through it with like save states and things like that. It seems just like fun. Like that's something that me and my siblings would play, and my cousins would also play as well, and that was like always a good time. And we went with Duplicator. Nice. Thank you so much. I am very interested to see if in this map we'll go into like a 2D mode. Let's go for the question marks since those seem to be hidden characters. Pro tip, Game Pro, fun factor, question marks are hidden characters. And here we go. Oh right, and there's that other weapon which matches the guns. See, it's definitely easier on co-op. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Okay, let me catch up on chat here. Els, bro, that made me raise my eyebrow like The Rock just now. But man, I'm on tear right now of Rio but her. Not seeing a point for streaming is a red flag. But please don't take that as disrespect. I just didn't like that comment in something so modest and relaxing for you. You know, we've been together for so long in IGO, and I kind of understand where she's coming from. My partner is very high functioning, and I can tell you right now that she compliments me very well, compliments my limitations, and I can tell you that I as well. There are times where I may not necessarily like find value in the things that she herself puts focus on, and that is on me. And somehow we have made it through in the years. So I want to say that streaming is a relatively new thing that I've decided to implement for myself. So I can understand. I can understand at the very least that she would be like, "What are you doing?" sort of thing. She's not, you know, necessarily like a social media type person, and she doesn't understand why I would like need this sort of thing. So at the very least, I praise her for kind of just coming to terms with it. It took a while. I can admit that. I can admit that it took a while. But I appreciate the fact that would be your reaction. So thank you. And we got some garlic power on. Come on. These fellas are just... Oh, there's a door here. Nice. Except this doesn't actually lead to an easier place. Okay. Where are we in the relation to the question mark? So if we go directly right, we would find the question mark, but it seems like we're at like a wall. So we're gonna have to find some sort of escape route or something like that. And I hope we haven't simply just like forsaken it. Maybe we need to go down here. There seems to be like a path right there. I hear you, bro. I'm on the same boat with my girl, not appreciating some of their likes, but something I've learned that consideration on a guy's behalf is not necessarily long term. Well, that's definitely an interesting that's certainly an interesting take. You know, I will continue to say that I think it is a two-way street. I don't know that I would ever want to be with someone that in some way doesn't reciprocate the way in which I feel about, at the very least, respect their hobbies, right? And I might never be able to understand what somebody places values on, but I at the very least want to be able to respect it, and validate them for it. and you know, your experience might vary, but that's kind of my stance right at the moment. Okay, so I'm trying to go all the way down, maybe to this bomb. That looks like a bomb. And maybe try to find this bridge to like make it all the way up to this question mark. We'll see how lucky we are. Boom. Yeah, let me catch up on chat here. Yeah, ideally, bro, but unfortunately it's not like that. Hey, like I said, your mileage may vary. Everyone's different too. So I just had a weird situation happen to me recently. Partners can feel one way and be honest with each other, but it doesn't mean it has to be detrimental. Yeah, and I absolutely agree with that. You know, we don't all have the same perspectives. We don't all have the same values, and we won't necessarily put focus on the same things, right? And I think that that is something to cherish, because we can't be with somebody that absolutely is just like us. And I mean, you might as well just be with a clone of yourself, right? I think that one of the things that is, at the very least, valuable in people that, you know, we choose to spend time with is the way in which they compliment us. And when you find somebody that compliments you, it's not because they are the same as you. It's because they have different perspectives and bring different ideas to the table. Okay, I am sure that this is like some kind of boss. It's like a Jenner from like Mech Warriors. Enemy mech destroyed. Okay, let me see, where was I? Just stay single, gamer broski. Gosh, that is a harsh take here. A harsh take. Okay, treasure. Let's see. I can't be with someone like me. I hate myself. I vaguely remember that. Ivan, of course, bringing in all the Seinfeld references here. I, gentlemen, don't need anybody. And you know what? That's a fair stance to have. I don't think that every single person needs to find somebody. I admire, and my hat's off to anybody who is content with who they are and just satisfied with who they are. That's absolutely fine. I'm never gonna take away anything from anybody that finds that for themselves. I absolutely need somebody, and I have found that person, and I am very happy with them. And even if I disagree with them, you know what? At the end of the day, they make me the better. And voila. Okay, how close are we to this? Did we completely miss the... Okay, no. So all we need to do is make to the right, north, and then to the left. And we should be close to this secret character. Love and cherish them, and they will most likely get back to you. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Yeah, and I like that idea. I like that idea. Don't place your expectations on somebody, you know? They're your experiences, and only you can learn from them. Yeah. I like these words of wisdom, Tormented One. And another attract orb. Okay, let's get some water in our system. Another Fiera the True Fellow, Spellbinder, and Hollow Heart. Like Sia once said, I don't think she said Hollow Heart. She said something else. One thing that I've always found particularly curious about the Contra series is how they blend like war zones with like bio-organic like alien stuff, and it kind of just like, you don't know when it happens, but it kind of just like switches slowly. Like the ground starts becoming a little more fleshy, like the ceilings become just a little more like clawy, and it's just like, wait a second, we were fighting robots at some point and then they became like eyeballs with like feet. Or giant centipedes. What is this thing? And a Pomarola. Nice. And I believe this should help us evolve the garlic weapon at some point. Okay, so we just gotta go south. Nice, thank you for that. And at least I've got chicken. Okay, where is this stasis pod? I feel like we should be right there, right? Yes, yeah, we're right there. Is it this? No. Okay, here it is. Wolf's Kiss, thank you, Pugnala Pravola, but the vampire is in another coffin. I don't know why they always put that joke in. But it makes me smile every time. A coffin indeed. Bill Reiser joins the survivors. I gotta try that character at some point. I can only assume that like whenever you're choosing like Contra people, that probably their main gimmick is that they've got a gun that you can aim or something like that. Whoa, what was that? All that being said, I do enjoy Castlevania more than Contra, so it is very likely that if I somehow lose this run, I'll probably go back to the Castlevania maps. You know what? It's early Saturday, folks. The weekend is only starting. I hope you got some good breakfast ahead of you. The thing that I like to do on weekends is I like to eat leftovers. And I know that I've got some Indian food in the refrigerator, and I am sure to have it tomorrow morning. I think it's some like sag paneer, and that is delicious. It is delicious. All right. I love Indian naan. Naan is so delightful, right? I feel like it's probably one of my favorite types of just like bread. Like I know that I know that it's probably like there's probably like more categorization involved. But like when I think of naan, I think of like pita bread, and I'm just like, I don't like that. I just like naan because it's kind of just like light and fluffy. It's not necessarily buttery, but it's like spicy. Like it's got good spices. Lose? Who do you think is playing with you? I apologize. Clearly I did not know who was backing me. Thank you for the support, Tormented One. Let's do this. What is this? It takes two to tango, though. Please be aware of the fact that I might fail you. Okay, we're trying to get back into the, like the stronghold, right? I think that's what I would like to do, because I feel like there's a way forward there. Yeah, so I'm going to actually... What is this thing? It's like a claw weapon. Is it like the claw from Inspector Gadget? Maybe. Let's see. Samosas are delicious. Yeah, I agree with that. I, sir, am a professional. I do not doubt your credentials, and I am not going to ask you for your card. I am simply saying that you are working with with a journeyman. I will out-tango your bad tangos, but you are tangoing well so far. Okay, let's keep this rhythm going. Let's keep this rhythm going. By the way, we got ads in like 5 minutes. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. Ooh, nice. Beautiful when it's in bloom, just like blooming onions from Outback Steakhouse, which I sorely miss. I use Brave, so our run is safe. Nice. Oh, nice. You don't get ads. Very cool. Oof, we are burning up the competition. And we got a tome. Okay, so let's go check out what that claw is. I'm actually very curious. This might be like a fool's errand. A fool's errand Jaeger. But curiosity is killing the cat. And like I said, we got ads in about 3 minutes. I'll probably take a quick break at that point. 4 minutes or so. I am running out of Duchess, so I'll probably pull something new to drink and talk about for a little bit before continuing our run of Vampire Survivors. Here's a bomb. Nice. Did we miss the claw? I think we missed the claw. The claw, of course, as advertised in the movie Liar Liar with Jim Carrey, was this creature that Jim Carrey, the father, would metal claw. Cooldown is affected by missing health. Yeah, let's get it. Nice, nice. And let's wait for the next one. Bam, 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 ba-dum, bam, ba-dum, bam. I guess let's wait for the 1 minute mark. Like I said, I'm still trying to get back into the stronghold. Jeez, there's so many GoBots over here. Challenge of the GoBots. How close are we? We gotta get through that wall of chicken. Oof. We're just running through these folks over here. Super lucky. Oh jeez. Okay. Wave of enemies coming in from the top. Let's find the door. No, we are here. We are here. It's just that there's a lot of folks. Okay, we made it. Now we're gonna go to the top. And like I said, we're gonna just pause right here. Okay, we're gonna go into a break here. We'll be back in 3-4 minutes or so. We'll have something else to drink, and we will be back with some more Vampire Survivors. Hope you stick around. welcome back to the Ales and Fails stream. I'm your host, Ale Wolf, otherwise known as Ales, gentleman streamer, the excellence of an execution, the world's least interesting man. And we are playing Vampire Survivors tonight, having a good time playing through the Contra DLC. And just having a good time playing some crowd control. Before we go back into the action though, we do have one more beer to showcase tonight. Let's go ahead and go over to the screen to talk about it for just a minute or so. And this is from our friends at Central Coast? I think it's Central Coast. Indeed, Central Coast Brewing. This is their peanut butter breakdown. It is their peanut butter stout. You might be wondering to yourself, you disagree? What do you disagree with, Tormented One? Feel free to let me know. This is their stout. And what is a stout? A stout is an ale that brews dark. The reason why it brews dark is because of the types of malts that you're using with it. Specifically using caramel malts, chocolate malts, and crystal malts. And when you boil these, they actually brew as dark as your favorite Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, RC-Cola, whatever the case. They showcase their sugars first. They have some very rustic sugars, things like brown sugar, molasses, caramel, toffee even, and they're quite delicious. They aren't necessarily very much in the bitter sense, much like your pale ales, I want to say. And the other thing about them is that they're very complex, they're robust. You got some flavors like dried fruits and things of the sort. When you see something like a peanut butter beer, generally what you will have is something like a stout that was brewed, and then during the dry fermentation process, I love it. Thank you so much for that. I can almost taste it, Tormented One. So what you have is you probably add peanut butter during the fermentation process. During the aging process, so that the beer actually picks up some of those peanut buttery notes. But that is enough of me gabbing about it. Let's quickly go into Untappd to see what that particularly has to say about it. Peanut butter breakdown by Central Coast Brewing, a 6.5% alcohol by volume, brewed with a real Skippy peanut butter. This stout packs a peanut butter punch. All that peanut butter is complemented by dark chocolate, coffee, toffee, and roasted malt flavors. Let's see if that is true by actually tasting this thing. Let's see. With the most uninteresting person statement, you know what? I appreciate that, Tormented One, but that only makes one of us. Thank you so much for being here once again. Tormented One, of course, one of our newest community members. I hope that you stick around, but I can tell you right now that you have made my evening. And so, funny anecdote, not really a story, but I used to hate peanut butter, and the very basic reason why I used to hate it is because my brother used to love it. We had a very strong sibling rivalry, and I used to love like beans because I love beans. And I still love to this day. He used to love peanuts and like peanut-based like stews, and because of that, I used to hate it. And then it only took me like 30 years, and then I was like, you know what? Peanuts are nice. Peanuts are good. So very roasted peanut flavors here. I want to say more like an earthy kind of nut. Definitely peanuts. A slight tinge of creaminess into it. Strong roast notes. I want to say coffee over chocolate, if that makes any sense. And very much rustic sugars here. Faminale over here, good to have you here. And so it is a deep flavor. Actually quite light in body composition, 2 out of 5. No real bittery notes to speak of. Again, that creaminess follows the nose. It is rich in the caramel. if I was to ascribe a particular chocolate flavor to it, it will be very light milk chocolate. No dark chocolate notes. Very light on the coffee. Even though I suggested on the nose that there was coffee, on the body it's actually quite light. And yeah, some light caramel, maybe even some maple notes. It's actually quite rich, very similar to peanut butter. I enjoy it. This one is a good one. So yeah, let's go ahead and rate this one. Peanut butter breakdown gets a 3.5 out of 5 stars for us. Cheers, we got it. And that is what we will be drinking for the rest of the night. Let's see. I like the can design. Yeah, it is very much like a peanut butter can. I feel like, in terms of like cans, whenever it comes to craft beers, I really enjoy when people go out of their way to like pop to the eye, right? A feast for thine eyes, almost. So yeah, this one is definitely one that actually came to me when I was like walking down the aisles. You will not get rid of me that easy. That almost sounds like a Star Fox 64 quote. I like it. Thank you so much for saying that, Tormented One. I just tried an Eggo waffle liqueur, which was pretty good. Kind of like a Bailey's or Kahlua. Wow, I don't know that I've come across that, but thank you for sharing that, Ivan. What is it? I had like a Dunkin' spiced latte the other day. I still have a can of it in the fridge, and it's like a malted barley beverage with some alcohol in it. It's supposed to be like Dunkin' spiced latte coffee, but with some alcohol in it. I enjoy it okay. I'm not necessarily keen on it, but it is interesting the sorts of things that you can do when it comes to just like malted barley beverages. I know that that's necessarily the same thing, but there you go. But yeah, with that, let's go back to Vampire Survivors, shall we? Let's go back to it. Let's see. A fist for thine eyes doesn't. I think you misheard me. I think I said a feast. A feast. I feel with that kind of can, if I didn't taste like peanut butter, I would be disappointed. Yeah, it would be false advertisement at that point. But no, this one's actually good. I like it. Okay, let's go back to trying to save the world here in Super Contra DLC. And let's go ahead and resume here. And we're trying to make our way to the top. I might even expect it to stick to the roof of my mouth, which is strange to say about a beer. You know what? Given the fact that it is highly suggestive of peanut butter, that is not an unsafe assumption. I want to say it is relatively light, like a lager, though. Where did those guys come from? Okay, so we're still trying to make our way to the top over here. I want to say that maybe we're trying to make our way to this little bookcase over here. I don't actually know what bookcases have, but at the very least in the Castlevania DLC, they generally mark like strong checkpoints. And I think I was talking about this a little bit earlier, but I had dinner with my significant other earlier, and we had like what is it called? Like Japanese barbecue skewers that we like had for takeout, and I ordered lamb specifically. And I don't know if you've had lamb, but it has a very gamey taste to it. I don't know. I feel like I don't actually care what restaurant you have. It will always have like a gamey taste to it. And the reason why I bring it up right now in this most random of moments is because like I find myself still digesting it, and like every once in a while I'll just have like this aftertaste where it'll just come back to me, and I'll just like lamb. Lamby Joe. Let's go. Lamb, of course, not necessarily a very lean protein. I don't suggest you have it very often. It is kind of a joy to have every once in a while. They give you the free choice of above. Oh, nice. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. The best lamb I've had was in New Zealand. I wonder. Of course, I am not like a connoisseur of like lamb meat in any sort of way. Like I've had it. I used to have it a lot more often when I was a kid growing up in Peru, because it was part of like very common stews. But I wonder if there's like specific like species or like specific like races of like lambs that taste differently. I'm sure there are. Like I'm sure there are. And that would be like interesting to like dive into. At the same time, I know that lamb is not really the healthiest of proteins. I know that. Don't say that. Probably. I feel it's considered a first-class meat over there. It's interesting how different like places like treat different types of like protein, right? What is it? I feel like I read a factoid at some point where like lobster used to be like a very like a poor person's type of meat, and then it was adopted by the high class to be like this very refined protein. But yeah, I'm generally open to like trying out different types of protein. What is it? There's this one Mexican restaurant that we like to get food from. Not too often though. My partner doesn't necessarily care for like Mexican food, and so one of the things that they have on their menu as an appetizer is something called chapulines, and that just means grasshoppers, and it literally is like roasted grasshoppers in like this tiny little plastic tub, and they're like crunchy, and they're like a little bit salty, and that is all you get. And it's like nice to have a mouthful right before you're gonna eat, like take a bite out of your burrito. They're a little bit strong in terms of taste, but I'm like, this is nice. This is this is okay. Let's see. It felt like it was a filet mignon in quality. That's crazy. That's wild. Oh geez, and I am getting crowded here. I am getting crowded. We are very close to chicken, and we missed a treasure chest at some point. Blaze away. Okay. Nice, nice. So we got some Santa water and a tracked orb, and I forget what this other thing is called. Ah, the rune tracer, of course. We're at 16 minutes, basically halfway through our run, unless we perish. But of course, we got some solid team members on this one. Oh my gosh. I actually tabbed away from the window. That's why I was just like stagnant. There we go. Gosh, the upgrades just keep rolling in here. Oh, one right after the other. That's impressive. Wait, where? I don't know where 3 upgrades in a row came from, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay, 4 upgrades. That's That is something. Wait, what is happening? By Jove, what is happening here? Okay. Well, I guess I'll take a much needed break here. Oh god, I see. Is it because... I'm gonna stop trying to understand these things. Winners win. I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh, I was just drinking water. Okay, so we're in the street here. Let's see. Let's go to the next like little drawer over here. We got a lot of worms on our backs here. Oof. And how do we get down there? Okay, there it is. Armadillo allows you to choose an extra passive way. Yes, let's do it. Oh, we actually get to choose this time. What is this? Karoma's Mana. Well, that's new. Let's go ahead and take it. You get that drawer and you get Tirajisu. Oh, you haven't unlocked it yet. Don't get Chroma. Okay, I won't get Chroma. Any particular suggestions? Doesn't matter. We strong anyways. You know what? Let's go for... We do have garlic on, so let's go for Candelabrador. We'll just go for Candelabrador. Just finished the Ender Lily's Platinum. Hey, GG's, Spectrum. And of course, once again, Spectrum, I'm often impressed by the level of diligence that you put into some of these games. That particular game seemed especially challenging. And you guys just this level of focus that I could never achieve, especially not on stream. So, my hat's off to you. Nice, we got the Evolved Magic Wand. I mean the collection stuff? Okay. And let's see. Let's go for the next little drawer over here. Apparently we lost a treasure at some point. Light 'em up like what's her name? Fallout Boy once said, "Light 'em up, bo, light 'em up, bo." Ah, such a good song. I am confident in our godlyhood. In our joint godlyhood, is that what you mean? Wasn't too hard after all. I mean the collection stuff. Yeah, some of those boss fights definitely were challenging. I think frame of mind really helps me. No, but that is definitely a level of focus that I envy. I envy it, Spectrum. Where is... Okay, we're close. There it is. Not necessarily worth it. It was just a Pomarola. But we'll take it. And so let's keep going up. We want to reach this little drawer over here. I feel like those generally suggest progress. And we are hitting a wall here. I wonder if we have to go around it. We might just have to go around it. I have no idea what's happening. And it's been a good night. I'm glad that I actually decided to stream tonight. I gotta tell you, it was a flip of a coin whether or not I actually went live tonight, so I will say the only mistake I have made tonight, as I tend to do on late nights, is having a Red Bull. I might regret that when I actually lie down, but right now I'm feeling good. I am feeling very good. Jeez, what are these things? What are we even fighting anymore? Larvae, like, mech-type cannon weapons? Just the number of, like, auxiliary weapons that we have on us. We're not fighting them, they're fighting us. We're not stuck with them, they are stuck with us. Oh, jeez. Okay, so it doesn't seem like we can actually go up this way. Maybe we just have to go down here and go through this, like, steel case. So we'll just do that. Beautiful when it's in bloom. I keep doing this thing where, like, I tab out of the window and then I forget to actually reactivate the main window. Fortunately, we've got enough things blowing up around us that it doesn't actually matter too much if we missed a couple of seconds of action. But it still puts me in a tense moment. Okay, let's do this. And we're going north now, right? Yes. Actually, we're still blocked. Wait, did we not get that steel case in the overpass? It's like, Ailes, you're wasting time here. What are you doing? Ooh, and there's a big old mech right there. I like the fact that they're just, like, walking. And I don't know what is the path here. Okay, maybe we need to go around this blue area, right? Nice! Good garlic. And we got the evolution for the Santa water. Nice. Damaging zones follow you and grow when they move. W5, which was what we wanted. Okay, so here's the path. Here's the actual path. I'll explain on the way. There's the steel case, so why couldn't we get it earlier? I'm so confused. You know, if this was Hades, we could just dash over the water. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna... I think I'm done trying to get that seal case. I think we're good. So let's keep moving forward. What we're gonna do is... let's go for this, like, little bridge area. We might be able to find another one of these, little bookcase shelves over here. And maybe that'll be helpful in the long run. Let's make it happen, Captain. Jeez, Ace is wild. Okay, another bridge, and we got the spicy chili. Where are we here? Okay, so the little case is, sorry, the little cabinet is all the way at the bottom. Down and to the left, down and to the left. Nice. Ooh, and we've got the evolved, wait, what is this? The evolved, this is not the evolved garlic, is it? Evolved Rune Tracer explodes when bouncing and in retaliation. Beautiful. I gotta say, I've only gotten the evolved Rune Tracer maybe like once or twice since I started playing Vampire Survivors. So you love to see it. And let's go. What are these, like ticks? Are they like ticks? Taking time bombs at the very least. Ah, there we go. Allows you to choose an extra passive weapon. Yes, let's go for it. And I don't want to skip it. We could do the wings. Spinach is always solid simply because it strengthens our weapons. I'm gonna get Karoma's mana at this point. Spinach? You think spinach? Spinach is good. Like Popeye said, spinach is good. Wow, okay. Ah, that one was almost a spill. Fortunately, that is not unfamiliar for the Ales and Fails studio. What are we even fighting at this point? They look like xenomorphs with like jawless fish faces. Like a hagfish. Hey, what is that thing? Is it coming? Is it coming? It's just hanging in there? I'm kind of just wondering if it's like a secret passage or something like that. I'm just gonna wait for it to come out just because it might signify like a treasure chest. Spilling gold. And if you're just joining us, we are playing some Vampire Survivors with some crowd control. Okay, how much will it take to actually defeat this fella? With a mighty bellow. What is it? I think George from Seinfeld said like when he pretended to be a marine biologist, he said, easy big fella. after he let a mighty bellow. Ah, Seinfeld. Okay, nice. And this is the evolved garlic. What is this called? The Soul Eater. Soul Eater, of course, a solid anime. I'm sorry that it never finished. It was really good. I'm gonna transition to a lurk. Sleep well when you get there. Hey, thank you so much for being here, Spectrum. Have a great rest of your evening. Hope you sleep well. Thank you so much for popping in, and I'll catch you again soon. Yeah, and I probably won't have more than like 20 minutes or so. Well, like 25 minutes based on ads, where I'm going at this point. The sea was angry that day. Like Ivan, of course, a great expert of Seinfeld knowledge. I am sorry that I pulled you out of a lurk, Ivan. But thank you so much for coming in with that reference. It was a golf ball. It was a golf ball. Okay, so where are we headed next? Okay, we've got like 5 minutes left on this. Whoa, what the heck is this? Wait, this is like the first boss from like Contra 3, right? I'm thinking that that's what it is. And again, my only anchor to like Contra games is Contra 3, which is one of the best. That is what made me fall in love with the series. But let's just take it out. Kick his butt, sea bass. Down it goes. Oh, nice. I like the fact that it actually has the same sound as an enemy when it goes down in Contra. Save chest for later. I don't know if I failed to read that earlier, but sure. We can save it for later. But do we have like a weapon that still hasn't upgraded? Is that what it is? Anyways. Where are we here? There's another attractor. We got a lucky... Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for the raid, Rio. How are you doing this fine evening? Appreciate it. Let me quickly go to intermission for just a second. And of course... anyone who is following right now, kind of give our esteemed friend Rio09 a follow. Probably one of my favorite streamers. They are going through Zeldrary, which is a month where Rio is tackling the hardest and coolest Zelda games. And you were last playing Majora's Mask, which actually happens to be my favorite Zelda game. So I'm hoping that you're having a good time with it, Rio. Let us know how that is going. I am Ails. I like to play retro or variety games, and I generally have a corgi with me, but unfortunately today he is asleep because it is late. I also like to talk about beers, and today we are enjoying a delicious peanut butter breakdown stout. So if you like peanut butter, if you like beers, this is the place to be. But yeah, let's go back to live over here. And let's see. I actually played Contra on arcade, but also on Game Boy. Love that series. I haven't played the Game Boy games, and I've always meant to do so. One day I have to actually rectify that. And thank you very much for gifting Rio a sub on this. That's really kind of you, Ivan. Very much appreciated. You guys are awesome. I gotta tell you, Rio, I was considering rating you, but I guess since you rated me, I won't be able to do that. But next time, trust me, next time. I hope you had a great evening. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Let's go back to this game. Let's go back to this crazy game. Had to stay away to avoid spoilers. Oh, I'm assuming that you're talking about Zelda. And we're being crowded here. We're being crowded. Being chased around by the monies. Okay, and I have no idea how we get out of this situation, by the way. We did. Majora is my fave Zelda too, so it's good going too. Nice. Well, good to hear. It is that gift that goes, oh, I've met another person of culture. Okay, let's look at the map over here. We got a chest there. We don't want to take it just yet. We got an attractor. We got a chicken. I'm thinking that we're just going to maybe collect what we have on this side. Get that metal chest over here and then make our way out through the bridge. We got 4 minutes left on the clock though, so I don't know how far we'll actually get. Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. Nice! Okay. And we got some more Pomarola. Not necessarily the greatest, but you know what? It'll be fine. I don't want to grab that skull. I think it like gives us a debuff, which I know is good for like getting certain, what do you call it? Achievements. But you know what? We're not about achievements in this channel. We're about surviving in this channel. Because we are terrible at games. I promise to you. I am terrible. For Frodo. Okay, and we're down to 3 minutes. Basically 3 minutes at this point. And it's still going. It's still going. Jeez Louise, what is that? And I'm either assuming that we're using like banish options or there's just a lot of treasure chests to collect. I have no idea. I've never actually been on the other side of crowd control for Vampire Survivors, so... You just gained a lot of levels. Okay, well, I'll believe that. I'll believe that. I don't know that I haven't been doing anything differently, but I'll take it. I'll take it. And yeah, actually, speaking of Zelda, one of the things that I plan to do on my Wednesday... So, I generally stream on Wednesday evenings as well. And I'm currently streaming Metroid Zero Mission. But once that's done, I'm actually thinking of streaming either Oracle of Ages or Oracle of Seasons for the Game Boy Color. I actually... Back in the day, I actually finished Oracle of Ages on Game Boy Color, and that was a good time, but I never actually finished Oracle of Seasons, and I feel like I need to rectify that. And I've already played Link's Awakening on stream, so I feel like it might be a good idea to actually play those games. You've been led by the elite. Glad to have your company, Tormented One. Let's see how far we go. Once again, I'm kind of surprised by the number of levels here. And it's like 2 sets of... Not only do we have like 7 primary weapons, but we've also got 9 secondary weapons. Okay, we're back to life. Bring me to life, as suggested by Evanescence. The music here is so frenetic. I can't say that I don't enjoy it, because it very much matches the mood of just like Vampire Survivors, especially in the later levels when things just become frenetic and frantic. Frantic and frenetic is the name of the game. 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Let's see how far we go. Here's the next steel case. Let's get it. Take chests. Yeah, trying. Okay. I forgot the chest. There's like a little text thing that's happening at the bottom of the screen, and I'm not reading it because I'm trying to pay attention to the action. But I feel like it adds to the ambiance. Open the map and take the chest. Yeah, and I can see that it's directly above me. So let's do that. Bum, 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 bum. And beautiful. What is this? Like an iron knuckle of some sort? The giant's big fuzzy fist, evolved metal claw, pummels the most powerful enemies in sight. I like that. This is the first time that I've encountered this weapon. Well, you gotta thank me. Okay, and we got less than 2 minutes on the clock. Less than 2 minutes on the clock. Look at that. It's just beating enemies down. Ah, the Ales and Fails stream rarely gets this hectic. I'm glad that I chose Vampire Survivors tonight. Okay, so there's another chest that we missed apparently. Let's go for it. I can't imagine that it's gonna make a difference to what we're doing here, but it is the completionist that lives in me. Clearly the completionist that I ate at some point. Speaking of which, I wonder what's up with that fellow. Anyways. Let's go find that chest. Cheers to you, Ivan. Cheers to you. It is nice to be at the outset of the weekend. The Weekend, apparently, who is no longer playing by that name, by the way. Or so I've heard. Where is that chest? Oh, there it is. I feel like it's being led by that red arrow at this point, right? We've got about 1 minute and 10 seconds, so about 70 seconds or so. I hope it is a GG. You know, anything can happen here. Trust me, I have been known to like lose at the last possible moment. Just check out some of my Elden Ring streams for that. Where is that chest? Did I just completely like bypass it? Oh my gosh, I am so blind. And we've leveled up apparently. There it is! I have switched to champagne. And man of culture, Ivan the Great. Actually, I was sharing a Prosecco with my partner earlier. And it was very, it had a very strong mouthfeel to it. I feel like most sparkling wines are kind of just like light. I really like my sparklings whenever they have like a strong mouth to them. And maybe that's just because I just enjoy reds in general. But yeah, that one was good. I hope it's a good one. 10 seconds on the clock. Let's go. I don't think we're gonna find Dracula, but that's okay. Yes! Whatever. Ouch. Do we get a revive? Yes, sort of. For like a few seconds. Come on. I like that my fists are just like pummeling on the fellow right now. Do it! Death cannot be defeated just like time. Reaper has 600,000 hit points. So are you saying I'm close? You can defeat it, but not at the current time. Yeah, probably not. Okay, good game, everyone. Thank you so much for the input. And we found the coffin for one of the secret characters. We evolved the metal claws, which was new, and we defeated Taka. And I have no idea what Neo Galuga is, but we did find the Neo Galuga map, so that's something. Okay, folks. Okay, that was a full night. Let's go back to intermission over here. You can defeat it. It employs a different mechanic, holding a weapon that halves the enemy's HP. Okay, so in time I will probably find something like that, right? That would be my assumption. So you keep having his HP over and over till he's done. Gotcha. Yeah, I know that you can actually manage to defeat death at some point, but as you're suggesting, I just haven't reached that particular level. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Every single person that made it in, lurkers, chatters, you are very much appreciated. Spectrum was here earlier, of course. Chungus was here at the earliest. We had Tormented One join us, as well as Ivan. Rio with the excellent raid. I cannot suggest how thankful I am for that. And everyone else that I missed, you know what? You all made my night tonight. A night where I was not supposed to stream, and yet for some reason I decided to do so very full-heartedly. If you are interested in this kind of material content, and I don't know why you would, there are so many better streamers out there. Trust me, if you ask me, there's so many better streamers out there to watch than this. Feel free to follow me on the socials. I post my schedule there. I generally stream on Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, I'm streaming Metroid Zero Mission. And on Fridays, I'm trying to do Monster Hunter World, where I'm trying to actually finish my Monster Hunter World run before moving on to Wilds. And I'm also playing Final Fantasy VIII, though I might take a break from that and play Banjo-Tooie if my N64 controller comes in. I don't generally stream Vampire Survivors, but on random nights I might. So feel free to join me for that. Bro's yapping. Indeed, I am yapping a lot. That is what we do around here. Once again, thank you very much everyone for popping in. We're going to find somebody to raid, and I'm thinking that we might go with our friends Stony Classics. They are currently streaming WWF No Mercy. And if you like the WWF, which is cool, I suggest you give them a follow. This is the raid message for followers, in case you are one of sorts. If you're a viewer, that is the raid message indeed. I better copy one of these myself. But yeah, thank you very much once again, everyone. Hope that you have an excellent rest of your weekend. Let me go ahead and set up that raid. And let's go find Stony. What a night, folks. What a night. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that one up. And yeah, as I'd like to end these things, stay thirsty, LPAC. We will see you again.